Hi, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm Ashley, and I'm going to provide an overview of the work on privacy preserving image provenance that myself and Steve Schneider have been doing at Surrey. Our work is concerned with a photographer that produces images and distributes images, for example, to an organisation or through social media. The photographer can include their identity in the metadata attached to the image, or can choose to distribute the image without any identity data. However, both of these options present limitations. Inserting identity into the image metadata has implication for the photographer's privacy. So if the photographer inserts their identity, they cannot later choose to be anonymous and can't manage under which circumstances their identity will be revealed. If the photographer doesn't insert identity data, anonymity is possible, but may be difficult for them to prove ownership of images. So our work explores how a photographer can insert ownership in a privacy-preserving way. So we've developed a solution that uses self-sovereign or SSI technology. So SSI systems are a type of identity management system that is centered around the user or the photographer for our use case. In an SSI system, rather than including identity data in the image metadata, a suitable issuer, for example a notary body, can issue the photographer with an ownership credential. The ownership credential then forms part of the photographer's digital and self-sovereign identity, and the credential is decoupled from the image itself, which means that distribution of the image does not necessarily reveal anything about the owner of the image. The credential can then be used to assert ownership, so the photographer can present a proof to a verifier, for example a media outlet, that they are the owner of the image. SSI systems allow users to manage and control their credentials, which means that the photographer can choose when and to whom to reveal their identity, and the issuer need not be involved in this process. So some SSI platforms also support privacy-preserving ownership proofs, which allows the photographer to choose which identity data to reveal. So this is best explained through an example whereby a user wishes to use their driving licence credentials to prove that they're over 18. So the user could show their entire driving licence, which will show that they're over 18, but will also reveal their full date of birth and other information such as their full name and address. Self-sovereign identity allows the user to use the driving licence credential to reveal only that they are over 18 without revealing any further information, including the user's full date of birth. Similarly, in our use case, the photographer can use their image credential to prove that they have ownership status without revealing anything further about the photographer's identity. In terms of our ongoing work, over the summer we explored SSI technology in order to gain an understanding of how it can be applied to our use case. We used open source SSI toolkits, Hyperledger Indy and Aries, to build a basic demonstrator that performs some of the functions required for a privacy-preserving image provenance system. We implemented a basic credential and proof of image ownership using these technologies, and we have a demonstration video available for you to view during the virtual poster and networking session. This use case has since been selected for development for the Digital Catapult DLT Field Lab. This will involve 6 two-week sprints that will begin in January and will be completed by Easter. During these sprints, we will develop a web app that enables photographers to assert their rights over images. We're also exploring the security and privacy of the technologies that underpin SSI systems and our particular application of these technologies. So our goal is to formally define security and privacy properties of SSI systems and analyse the security of the underlying technologies. We conclude by commenting that our solution to privacy-preserving image provenance does not work in isolation. In fact, alongside an SSI platform, a media fingerprinting service plays an important role in image provenance. So media fingerprinting technology is also being explored in the Decade Centre, and that's something we'll hear about in the next talk. So thank you for listening, and we are happy to discuss our work further during the virtual poster and networking session.